Hi, welcome. Welcome in. Welcome back to Cardinal Rose Tarot. Thank you for being here. If you can tell, I'm feeling myself today. I don't know what it is. I just feel really good. There's really good energy afoot. It's the eclipse. It's the fall equinox. There's an eclipse happening in the sign of Virgo. Is that right? Why do I feel like that's wrong? There was the first eclipse that we just had was in Pisces, and now this one's in Virgo. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. And normally an eclipse is a little, hang on for the ride, and it's for sure been that way. But today, for whatever reason, I'm on the upswing and feeling really good. And if you haven't caught my last couple readings, I recommend it. Part of the reason I'm feeling so good is because as a practicing witch or practitioner, whatever you want to call that, there's different words for it, right? Witch is the easiest one for me, and the one from my own ancestry and whatnot. I figured out another witch out there in the world that was attacking me for reasons I'm pretty sure I know, but I've also started to kind of realize that they may actually not have been attacking me because they were hired by the person I thought. I actually think there's a chance that they just came across me at some point online and started hating me and attacked me for that reason. I don't know. I'm skeptical of that, but it's a possibility. So it has felt really good to have identified that person and to have named them and to have zeroed in on what was going on. And I'll just have to also say that it was an answered prayer. I was praying to have that known to me finally, and to stop being in the mode of guessing and having an educated guess. Even my cat feels good about it. So my prayers were being answered. So I just have to thank my guides and my God personally that have been protecting me and looking out, and my own Egungun and my ancestors and protectors. So let's just go ahead and get into it and see what wants to come out for this collective reading. I made some note card oracle cards. I'm learning how to shuffle them because they're just basic note cards. They're not actually on cardstock or anything. So let's see what wants to come out for this. Here's those. What else is going to be important for this collective to know in this collective message? What are the messages that want to come out? That's way too many. I hear ya. Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of yourself? He's begging for his little midday tuna or seafood bisque that he gets. It's what he lives for, I swear. Is that what you're begging for right now? I think that's what you're begging for. All right, so we'll just take a couple more cards here for this collective message. What wants to come out? There was some channeled information. I almost forgot about it. Just now came into my mind as an awareness. You might be doing things that are like the Roadrunner, or those are from my generation, Looney Tunes cartoons. The Roadrunner, Speedy Gonzales, those characters from the cartoons. Bugs Bunny is a great one. They always got the best of their adversaries. So it would be like, even if an adversary set up a trap for Bugs Bunny would turn the trap into something that benefited him and made Elmer Fudd look stupid. It's that kind of thing. And so you might be in that kind of energy right now, where your enemies keep trying to trap you and you keep sailing right through the trap and coming out even stronger because of it. Like maybe somebody set up, like you robbed a bank, and as you're taking the money away, the paint ball that explodes in the bag of money to get paint all over you as a thief, it actually makes you look like a model, and all of a sudden then on the street someone discovers you, and it's like it's something like that is what's going on. So someone did a hot foot spell on you to get you to go away. Well, what they didn't realize was that you going away and taking this new job was actually going to advance you even further than if they had just left you alone, right? So it's that kind of thing. It's people hating on you and thinking they're getting the best of you, only to find out that they actually aren't. They're not getting anywhere, and in fact they're making you stronger. And that came through a couple of my last readings. So take these cards, and now let's just see what are the... So we've got worldwide cover-up. What did I just tap into? Okay, so that's here. The Abrahamic faiths are involved. Camping, hunting, outdoors activities, sports, right? And business startup success. Motown and gospel music. So these are the things that are going to maybe be indicators for you that this is your reading. So with something like worldwide cover-up, we're talking about things like the Epstein case, Diddy, right? Like powerful billionaires who are running shit like an elite cabal is this kind of stuff we're talking about. Billionaire people creating underground compounds for themselves to survive the apocalypse, and then stoking fears in the public to turn us against each other so that they get to just laugh all the way into their underground compound, right? There could also be something like the Masons, or a large religious organization that has powerful ties going way into the past. The Freemasons are an example that many people believe there's a conspiracy of Masons that run the world, right? And they're from the Abrahamic traditions. There might also be some outdoors people here that like the outdoors, or that appreciate doing some sort of like intentional community or land, living off grid is the words I was looking for. We've got Motown and gospel as music, and then we've got business startup and success. So let's find out what else wants to come through here. What else wants to come through? Something major, because the question was, what did I just tap into? So it's something major. There's something worldwide. And, it's interesting because to just use my own situation as an example with that, person that's like the head of a cult to Aphrodite that decided to attack me. They're in Europe. They don't even know me. Okay, they don't know me. I don't know them personally, and they're in Europe. They don't even live here. But I think what's going on is that they have an online presence that has spanned where they live, and they might teach people about how to do this kind of esoteric work online, right? Like they're an online coven and not necessarily a group that only meets in person, right? So we might be talking about something like that. What do we need to know? What else do we need to know here? Opposition. What's happening? Worldwide legal situation. Epstein, again, is a great example of that. Intuitive Kev, and we talked about the Abrahamic faith, so maybe we are tapping into something like the Freemasons or whatever. Mysteries. Imprisonment. Legal imprisonment. Intuition. Yeah, a boss. This is some type of maybe worldwide thing. Like I just said, what did I tap into here? It's a hidden path, maybe. It's maybe a hidden mysteries type cult. Because with this pathway card, I'm picking up like the craft or the path, the magical path, right? The esoteric path, the craft. Something's just kicking off. Something changed recently. And these people that were in power, like this powerful person here, this boss, flying monkeys that they were using in order to carry out whatever their opposition to their, any risk to their powerful position. is over. And this is something kind of big. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I'm a little bit, honestly, what I just have to say is this deck that I created, I'm learning it and I'm overwhelmed with the message that's coming out. And I need to kind of just turn to tarot right now to see if I can't figure out, like, what's the message here? This was something international. Whatever's going on, it spans continents. It spans the globe. It's something happening that's international. We have a very powerful boss here. And I was talking about millionaires and billionaires and Epstein and what did I tap into? Conspiracy. So we've got all of those elements here. We've got opposition. We've got imprisonment. We've got esotericism, mysteries, right? Like, there's conspiracy theorists out there that say that Diddy was tapping into magical workings in order to empower himself and harvesting energy of other people and making sacrifices of other artists in order to empower himself. And that had a spiritual thing behind it, that it wasn't all just power moves, but there was spirituality behind some of it. You've chosen to move into a calmer situation and regroup with whatever's going on after you receive some news. You received some news that you needed to kind of choose to slow down and calm down for a minute until you could maybe get more information, because things are picking up and changing very rapidly. And that might happen where we were just talking about, like, with that camping, hunting. This might be the very thing that I was just saying. Like, billionaires building these underground compounds. Like, Nestle buying up the world's natural water supplies, right? It's things like that are happening all around us to some extent. And that the general average little guy, what are we supposed to do, right? This is the kind of thing that seems to be coming out here. So I guess I'll just try to roll with it. We're going through like a metamorphosis on this planet. A lot of people describe it as the new Earth, right? That we're in a dawning, the age of Aquarius is happening. It's, there's a lot of reason to be joyful, honestly, which is kind of confusing considering what we're talking about here. But this is the beginning of the end for them. Like, you hear people saying, like, these are the death throes. I did a reading a while back about, is Epstein going to be what finally takes out Donald Trump? And it said yes. And that seems to be what's happening. Like, he was publicly shamed on his trip to Europe right now. There was some but there was a video clip of someone showing that heads of state dinner at Buckingham Palace or whatever, and it's all fucking billionaires. Do they think we're stupid? They're consolidating their power, but then some genius like broadcast images across the castle, maybe of the Bloody Tower. I don't remember where it was they were showing it, but it was Trump and Epstein together. And it's like that the people that did that, all they were doing was broadcasting an image, but they got arrested. So, these powerful billionaire men, all white, all at that state dinner, they don't like that the little guy is getting stronger and has the internet to communicate and whatever, right? Yeah, we're having to defend ourselves against this, is what this is saying. Things are picking up exponentially. This could also be something like you could consider like AI growing so exponentially so fast that we're approaching the singularity, a point that none of us understand what it's going to do. But it's a convergence moment in time where tech and AI is growing so fast, so exponentially, that it's going to reach an event horizon called the singularity. And beyond that point in time, none of us has the capacity to understand what it's going to look like, because it's beyond our present comprehension, kind of thing. The vulnerability is that we're in the metamorphosis right now, and that's a very vulnerable time. The chrysalis is vulnerable while the creature inside is going through its metamorphosis. It's a very vulnerable time. But what's happening is we're laying the foundation and the building blocks for who we're going to be working with in the future. And we're laying the foundation for our upcoming joy and abundance. This is the death throes of the old world, okay? This is what's coming through. This is this is truly a collective message of like a global message of where we're heading. This is not what I intended to come out, but it's what's coming out. The vulnerability for us is that we're not sure about what's true. And that's been by design, where the elite, wealthy power brokers, the millionaire and billionaire class, benefit from creating chaos and confusion and keeping us unsure about what's actually true. Trump is the sort of forefather of that in a way, although there's always been fake and controlled information out there to control the public, right? They've intentionally sowed seeds of confusion so that we're off kilter and we don't know what the actual truth is. It's an injustice, but the scales are coming into a balancing point again, because we're in the death throes of this old way and we're having to defend ourselves and stand our ground while this happens. What else do we need to know about it? What else do we need to know about this Seven of Wands, where the energy is headed? This is a global message. It's a global message. A lot of people say, like, these are the end times. Like, this is the book of Revelation. Other people say, no, we're just entering a new age. The age of Aquarius. The new earth, right? We're definitely coming into a time of truth, right? Where the truth is being slowly revealed to us. What is the Seven of Wands? We're being like in this collective right now, we might feel forced into a position of hanged one energy where we're being forced to be still while all of this is changing around us. It's heartbreaking. It's disappointing. We're forced into a page-like observation mode while God and the heavens and the angels and the demons fight it out for this planet, kind of thing is what it's saying. And we're seeing a lot of heartbreaking things, right? Like the destruction of the environment, the purchasing and commodification of the natural world, and the ultra wealthy trying to commodify and own nature, right? And take it away from us, right, as the public. That's what we're having to defend ourselves against, is being taken out. This is an apocalyptic kind of reading. What about the Chariot here? Yeah, we're having to make choices as a species, as human beings, about the haves and the have-nots. We're in a choice point right now. Feminine energy is a part of this. There are other, world leaders and spiritual leaders that say patriarchy has been dominating the planet for the last millennia, and now we're going to enter the age of the feminine. That's another belief that's out there. And the Queen of Pentacles card would indicate that, possibly, right? Like, the era of the feminine and the empowerment of the feminine pole in our world is the age that we're stepping into. And we're in the death throes right now of patriarchy. And a lot of people say that that's what happened during the fall of Atlantis, is that people flew too close to the sun and started experimenting with things that were so destructive and dangerous that's why the flood happened, right? People say things like that. I don't say that I believe or disbelieve that. I'm just delivering this message as it's coming out and connecting it to human story and human oral history, right? And the way we've talked about these things going back in time as a species, right? That's what's coming out here. That's what these themes are about. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know about this? Music can be a source of comfort right now, spiritual music. It was talking about Motown and gospel music, so that might be something that's helpful to listen to right now to uplift our spirits and to comfort us while we're watching and witnessing the sort of destruction of the old earth, the old era, while we step into the age of Aquarius or the new earth or the new calendar, right? What is this? What else do we need to know? Medicine of laughter. We can tap into the medicine of laughter right now to help us cope, right? That reading I did where I sort of revealed a hater of mine that was, you know, basically online gang stalking me, sending me fake accounts. They were reaching out to me on LinkedIn. They were reaching out to me on my Instagram. They were reaching out to me on Blue Sky. Occasionally they reach out to me here, but it's rare. They don't, you know, they'll send me fake emails. They'll do all, I even have a suspicion, I'll just say it out loud while I'm talking about this, that they sent a fake therapy client to me. I don't know that for sure, but I think it. And it was a client that was there to try to set me up and to see if they could get me on something that they could report me to the board. Okay, that may sound paranoid, but it was so random the way that this person showed up and what they were wanting from me and then how they were acting, that it seemed cultivated. It seemed like an act. It didn't seem like a normal. And I've been in my field my whole adult life. I've never once had an experience like that before or since. So I've learned to listen to those kinds of hunches. And I think that they even did that. No shit. But I tried, you know, in revealing who that person was, I tried to make it light, bring levity to it. It's like, do I hate that person? No, I think it's amusing and sad, and I'm embarrassed for them, right? That's how I respond. This involves an ancestral pattern. Look to your lineage or bloodline. What did we learn from past histories of civilizations? All we need to do is look it back in time. This is just a repeat occurrence. The Mongolian Empire, the Roman Empire, Atlantis, right? Like every time our species has flown too close to the sun and gotten too big for our egos and had a lot of hubris involved, something greater than us came in and wiped us out practically and wiped the slate clean and started it over. Heartbeat. We just need to tune into our own safety, our own community, our own loving relationships, our own relationships with our God and our spirit guides, right? And watch and surrender, because we're not the ones in control at this point. And this kind of talk, you know, people have been talking about the end times forever. I'm not trying to jump on that bandwagon and say, yes, we're in the end times. But a lot of people say it, not just biblical Abrahamic people. Eckhart Tolle talked about it, not as an end time, but as we're approaching a new earth, the age of Aquarius. We're evolving as a species and leveling up spiritually. And the people that can't do it are going to remain in the old paradigm. And the people that are, and can, are rising into the new one. And that just is what it is. There's like a divine reordering happening, sort of, right? So what else do we need to know? What else do we need to know here in this equation? What's important for us to know? What are the truths that are going to come out? What are the truths that are going to come out about that power that it was sort of hinting at, like the boss and the flying monkeys and the corruption and the police? We're going to see about, like, what's being exposed? What's being exposed and what is dying out? I'm going to actually cut these a bit more just to make sure I'm not. What's dying out and what's being exposed? Let's get more information, Spirit. Thank you. Please and thank you. And then maybe I'll get some advice for us too. It said medicine of laughter, right? Watch and wait, grieve, pray. Look to our lineage or bloodline for advice and guidance for what to do. What's being exposed? Yeah, it's this. This is like a global message for people because we're teetering on the brink. And I think all you need to do is look around and you'll agree, right? I'm not acting like Chicken Little here. We all see it. We all know it. We're all living on this planet in this era in this time. We would be fools to think that major shit is not going on that could potentially destroy us, right? So this is what's being exposed. The dark workings that are esoteric in nature, things that people like the Rosicrucians understood, right? Things that people that told us about Atlantis understood, right? The abuse of power, the abuse of things like physics and our understanding of the natural laws. You could call that physics, you could call it magic. It's the same energy, in my opinion. This is what's coming out. People that abuse these powers in our world is being exposed. The ways that they've created illusion and confusion to keep the average person under control and harvested like our labor, harvesting our labor. It doesn't have to be magical. You could speak it purely as a capitalism type issue, right? Where our labor is harvested to make other people rich, right? It could also be that our energy is harvested magically in order to empower these millionaire and billionaires, right? And people like Diddy and shit. They have benefited by doing these workings to create mass confusion and mass illusion, to create a matrix, right? Where most people see the matrix and they don't ever see beyond it. It's a dark ritual. It's being abandoned. Enough people are waking up and seeing beyond the veil and abandoning this old way and abandoning the old world and the old patriarchal abuses of power, right? It's no longer working. The way that these people have kept the nations down, it's not working anymore. They were exploiting our labor. They were trying to create confusion and keep the community from seeing the truth. You can't make it up. It's right here. Our ancestors, there's wisdom from the Egungun, from our ancestors to be able to help it, or sorry, Egbe, not Egungun. Our Egbe is our ancestors are Egungun. I'm sorry, I'm still learning my Yoruba terminology. But what's happening here is that our ancestors had understanding and had created a blueprint for us to help us know how to work and make it through times like this and survive the sort of great cleansing of the earth, like the flood, right? The story of the story of Noah is an example of that, but it doesn't have to be biblical. It can be in the Vedic texts, right? It can be in the Tibetan, stories of the Bon faith, right? It can be all animism. Our ancient ancestors, right? That just believed in the animistic lens of looking at the world. It's all here for us if we look back on it. We're abandoning the mentally and emotionally unstable reality that most of us find ourselves in at this point, which is that we see that the world is out of balance. It's Koyaanisqatsi. That's another term for this time. It's a Hopi term, I think, is Koyaanisqatsi. Either that or Zuni. They had a prophecy of this very time and era that we're in. Universe out of balance, world out of balance, and now Koyaanisqatsi is here to bring things back into balance, right? Out of this mentally and emotionally unstable time and into a new dawn, a new earth, a new era where love is being offered, where justice is being offered, where our energy centers are back in an alignment, and where we no longer lack faith that there's something greater than us that will protect us if we ask for their help. It's really beautiful. It's very beautiful. So we just need to maintain our own ethics, hold fast to our communities that we love and trust and that we know want for our liberation and our happiness and our nourishment and our joy and our abundance. What are some final words for this collective? This is a powerful message. Very powerful. I'm very grateful. What are some final words about this? What do we need to know as we witness this metamorphosis that we're all going through? What do we need to know? Because it's like we're simultaneously witnessing it and experiencing it. And maybe the people that are not witnessing it are the people that are going to remain in the old paradigm. And the people that are witnessing and experiencing will elevate. I don't know. That's just an idea that kind of came through. I'm not really sure. What do we need to know in this collective as witnesses to this process? What do we need to know? Yeah, time for a nap and new life. We need to release and surrender. We need to not worry ourselves about it. And we need to prepare for the new. I'm going to read these two cards though. 24. Card 24. These both came in the upright. And I'm going to read the descriptions for the upright for all of them. This is a time to step away and rest. Let the cares of our world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat, and rest. Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without entanglement or engagement now. So that's great advice, and it's a reminder that we're in the eclipse season, and the eclipse energy might be a part of this all, right? This greater energy that's transforming and creating this metamorphosis. When it comes to and Virgo, you could consider Virgo a divine feminine symbol, right? When it comes to matters of the heart, don't make any plans right now. If you're not partnered, it's good to take this time out to get to know yourself. If you're involved with someone, relax and just be with your partner. This is going to be an uneventful moment in time. Don't force anything now. Allow things to flow naturally, and a beautiful renewal will take place all by itself. Patience is the key to your heart's desire right now. Withdraw from action in your relationship and give it a rest so that your love and connection can become rejuvenated. And finally, this is a great time to take a break from your busy schedule and allow yourself the opportunity to step back. Your plans are meant to be put on ice. Your goals can wait. Dream, imagine, and let go of attachments to any outcome now. Meditate and take a holiday if you can. Things will speed up soon enough. After a break, you may want to make some changes. Epiphanies have an amazing way of arising when you take your focus off your to-do list and allow yourself to rest. It's really good advice for this equinox eclipse energy that we're stepping into right now. Right now, maybe starting yesterday and over the next 72 hours. Rest, meditate, dream, and manifest the world you want to be stepping into for yourself and for the planet, right? If it's global, great. If it's personal, great. Either one. Rest. Don't force things through right now. Rest and observe, and even take a break from watching the insanity, right? And just go within. New life, card 39. This is the other final message. When spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. This is what we have to look forward to, is what I'm picturing. We had that 10 of Cups come through. Blossoms burst forth from trees overnight. Birds return home and sing their glorious song. And nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. And this is something we can trust. I know it sounds crazy given what's happening in the world, but it's like we're saying we're being protected. We're being guided to retreat and watch and observe what's going on and not engage. My friend Lana said a great example the other day. She's native, she's indigenous she's Salilo, Wyam, but she's also a Christian. Okay, she practices Christianity, but she also practices her own indigenous spirituality and dance and all that, right? We were talking about the chaos in the world, and she was saying, yeah, I haven't been, we used to do actions together and rallies and going to the Capitol and all of that. And she was like, I'm actually being guided spiritually not to do any of that. And she said, it's really weird and it's very boring. It's not the exciting ego-based things. It's listening to what God is telling me to do, which is to pray and go within and stay away from protests right now. And to me, that was very interesting. And it's that kind of message. I'm not saying stay away, don't protest. If that's where you're being called to go, that's where you're being called to go. It's not for me to tell you. It's just to follow your calling, right? Is what this is saying. Follow the calling of something greater than us, not our own ego or people around us saying this is what you should and shouldn't do. We're being guided to listen to a higher wisdom. Your energy enters new energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is very auspicious with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. You have every reason to be optimistic as things seem to fall into place magically. New opportunities remind you that abundance is available to you. Delight in the bounty that begins to appear in surprising forms. Stay curious and know that your hopes and dreams are being fulfilled. It's as if new life suddenly infuses your projects, work, and creative ideas with a kind of electricity that crackles with exciting potential. Fortune is smiling on you. So cool. Really a powerful reading. Really powerful. I'll pull one of these nature cards since we're talking about the power of nature and the planet and the new earth. We'll pull a couple nature cards and then that'll be it. I keep wanting to keep going because it feels good to be doing this reading. But, you know, it can have an ending. I don't know why I want to keep going. It's just because it feels good to read cards. It feels good to do what I'm called to do, which is this. And when you're in alignment with your purpose, it feels good like that. It feels goosebumps, happy, uplifted, light, joyful, laughter, buzzy, bubbly, right? It feels really good. The Spider and Passion Flower. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I really resonate. Both of these are very powerful influences in my own life. Spiders and Passion Flower. And it's card number 2. I love it. That's also the High Priestess card. Creative ingenuity. Spiders represent a balance of light and dark. Cunning yet patient. They spin intricate webs that are both beautiful and deadly. The passion flower is a vining flower that has come to symbolize faith. It was named by 16th century Jesuit missionaries who associated the plant with the Passion of Christ. Its filaments represented the crown of thorns, its 10 petals the 10 faithful apostles, and so on. You can solve your problems unconventionally and with cleverness. You need only exercise patience in order to fully appreciate the results of your labors. So we just need to let this eclipse do its work. We don't need to do anything as people in this collective, right? We just need to watch and get ready to be happy. The badger and ginkgo. And ginkgo is a memory keeper, which is so interesting too when we're speaking about the ancestors. The badger and ginkgo in the reverse. So we had card 2 and card 32. So that's an interesting, from 2 to 32. So there's the 3 in there might have meaning as well. The Holy Trinity is coming through as a message. Same with the, there's definitely apocalyptic symbolism coming through. Someone has hurt you. The person in question may not be aware of their wrong, but your pain is undeniable. Be gentle with yourself. Lick your wounds so that they can heal properly. Am I inflicting my own wounds onto others? What steps can I take towards healing? So through this eclipse, rest, heal, do whatever you need to let go of any pains of the past, people that may have hurt you in the past, and that's what you can do through this eclipse energy and for this collective reading. And also know that there's beautiful times ahead for us in this collective. So thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to hold these up because they're beautiful, and it'll give me a good thumbnail potentially. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here.